Hello mountain bikers everywhere and welcome to another show from Old Man in Lycra. Yep, this is the mountain bike channel for the mature rider. That's right, I'm afraid you're not going to see any of this or this and none of this. But this week, Irma walks us through how to set up your cockpit. And if you don't know what your cockpit is, then I suggest you keep watching. We've looked at the principles of bike fitting quite a lot in the past, but today we're going to meet Riaan. And Riaan is having his cockpit fitted by our resident bike fitting expert, Irma. Let's have a look.
This is my model for today, Riaan Taylor. He'll be joining us. Today we'll be looking at the contact point, the cockpit, the handlebar area, and see what the influences are from your body and your anatomy and the history of your body functionality, and how do we incorporate that into the bike and how you feel on your hands. The things that influence your handlebar position or the way you feel on your hands to your shoulders on the bike it's a few things. It's obviously the three contact points, hands, feet and saddle, but we're just looking at the hands today. So the handlebar over here would play a role, the combination of the stem and how it looks, how long it is and the angle of it, and how up or down it is, as well as the tilt of the handlebar influences how you feel on your hands. So before we can set Riaan up on his handlebar, we first have to understand what happens to his body. Stop where you think it's uncomfortable. Okay, so he's quite compressing his upper traps here, pulling his whole head to the other side. He's pulling his pelvis forward to try and lift his arm up. Now I want you to relax into my hand. A little bit more. There we go. Can you feel that?
Yes.
That's what you want to feel like on your bike as a starting point. So when you go into a climb position, or you're sprinting, or you want to chase your mate up the hill, you want to have some space to go into that cramped space and then come right back out of it. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to be sore. All you're going to do is just hang for me, and I want no discomfort whatsoever on your lower spine or any stretching feeling on the back of your legs. You're just going to hang. So relax your head as well. There should be no stretching. Is that comfortable? Yes. So the feeling from your feet all the way around into your neck, into your shoulders, and from your lats into your arms is what I want you to feel from your saddle to your handlebar. So now what we want is we want to take that information from your body and put it into the bike setup, okay? So what I want ideally for you to feel is that you have 70% of your weight on your bum, nothing on your pubic area, and 30% of your weight on the handlebar. So there's always a little bit of weight on your hands. Riaan, so I want you to explain to me what you're feeling on the handlebar now.
Yeah, at the moment I've got a lot of pressure on my hands.
Okay.
And it just really feels uncomfortable.
How does your spine and your neck and your shoulders feel?
Yeah.
Do you feel stuck in your neck?
Yes, I've got a bit.
Lots of tension over here. For me as a bike fitter, what I see, why I don't like it, is already I can see that there's tension on your lower spine from the position when you were hanging, showing me what your spine wants to do. There's straight arms, can't go up or down a switchback with straight arms. You already on your wrists like that. I can see you fiddling all the time trying to get your arms in a better position. And try and just go to the brakes for me with your hands. Can you brake? Crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
That can't be comfortable. So over here, there's lots of compression. It's got that feeling of being stuck. Over here, he's pushing his spine up, but this is not, it's not, the whole thing isn't the nice hanging curve that he had when he was just hanging naturally. So there's lots, and he's pushing lots on the shoulder blades. On the wrists, he's got a straight elbow, flexed wrist, and he hasn't got space to get to his brakes. Riaan has quite a good flexibility on his spine, but his arms are very tight. So we have to lift it up with these spaces to get him to feel like he's in his natural, aggressive, aerodynamic place. How do you feel?
Yeah.
What is it?
So firstly, less pressure on my hands.
Okay.
And I'm not overstretching so much anymore.
You have an ulnar nerve running on the outside of the arm into the hand. It's quite a big nerve and it's very prominent, and a very common cycling complaint of numbness and pressure on the outside of the hand. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to manipulate the angle of the handlebar so that you can get that nice, remember when you picked your arm up like this, a nice neutral shoulder feeling. So it's the combination of the weight from your shoulder to your hands that gives you that lazy, peacey feeling, okay? Okay, so now you've seen I've twisted his handlebar, the brake's automatically moved into its own position. So Riaan, please can you hold onto the grip and now reach for your brakes. Other things that influence your cockpit setting, as you can see on his stem here, Riaan's got a 75mm stem. It's an 8°, this one, and it's facing in its negative position. You can turn it around and it will come up with 8 degrees in a positive position. So that's another way how you can lift yourself up if you feel like this is too aggressive. The combination of the distance of the stem, the drop of the spaces, and the tilt of the bar and the distance of the bar. So Riaan, if I could ask you just to show the distance of the bar, put your hands on the grips again. If his handlebar was too narrow for him, let's make it too narrow. So you'll see his chest will close in, and now there's lots of weight on his hands again. It's like he's sitting like this again. If it's too wide, I'm gonna make it too wide. Now he's got that pulling thing on his spine again. I don't know if there's any stretching feeling over here, but his neck is compressing again as well. So it really is about playing around and feeling where your natural stance would be in just resting on the handlebar, and feel like you have control, but you have space to move yourself around when you need to do turns or switchbacks or go through sharp corners or go backwards on your saddle. You don't want to feel like you're extended already, fully extended already, or too cramped up, because then you won't have control over your bike. The biggest thing that you can note, that I want you to notice, is that his shoulders open up. So do you feel like you can breathe again? If you look at his neck to shoulder combination, it's a lot more even out. There's no shoulder compressing, pushing into, like his spine's going in and his shoulders are going up kind of thing. And you'll notice over here that it doesn't go like this anymore. It's just his nice neutral spinal flexion that he showed on his anatomy test as well. And that's how you set your cockpit.
Thanks again, Irma. That is the first of 3 sessions where we're looking practically at fitting your bike. Next time around, we're going to be looking at your feet. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be looking at 2 of the biggest marathon stage races in the world. Right on my doorstep here in Cape Town is the Absa Cape Epic, but next week we're going to be looking behind the scenes at Joburg to Sea, a 9-day, 900-kilometer stage race from Johannesburg through to the coast. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, and this old man in Lycra will see you next time.